go or walk downstairs, drink, do whatever you want to do, pray, and just go up and handle it later. There are plenty of other outlets to resource of that nature.
I think one of the things and stuff, and I'm a play, I never use the word devil's advocate because I don't give him any glory, but to play advocate here for a minute, we always talk about the man should walk away. The man should go and isolate
because
himself.
It's looking into, okay, because a man, you're only going to be treated how you allow. A man's the head, but the woman also sets the tone.
But exactly. And so my point in setting the tone and being in relationship with this person for so long, you know a person, you know what buttons to push. Now, we talked about on other shows prior to you being a guest about people that don't have control mechanisms that hasn't been poured into them when they were a child. Okay, because we're clear that that man has a problem. Okay, and that's not a problem that just manifested itself.
No, there was a plenty. This was going on for a while, and even with her, it was that there was this level of comfortability that she had, so she was willing to accept it. We've seen it in movies, we've seen it in society, we see it in books. Just take it, deal with it. Heck, outside of the U, we're one of the few nations that's somewhat allowing women that take a stand. You look at the majority of other nations, women be damned in things of that nature. So it's like you come here, you get a little bit of voice or now. And then at the same time, you mentioned earlier about the black women. Reason why, and no offense to you or any woman out there, but there's a lot of them that you set yourselves up to that way of how society view us because of what we have, different shows and all these other things. And what do we see them arguing, yelling, fighting?
Exactly.
We don't have, and they say, well, they others too. Yes, there's other shows of Caucasian and other Asian and other cultures arguing, fighting too. But there's enough of an example of other things, of them doing other positive things. We don't have that. All we have is the negative, or the woman doting behind the husband instead of working with the family.
Right.
So that's the image, and then thus now when we spill that mess, not just Terrence Howard, but in the streets and within the communities, now we got this process, and now we're tearing our own selves down, not realizing what we're speaking upon ourselves versus
Right, you're
saying
speaking it into existence, so to
versus
speak.
saying, we are going to change.
Right.
And as soon as you challenge that person, oh, it's my mouth, it's my escapism, it's my this, instead of realizing that we're just giving them the money.
One of the things that I've found, and even when I was researching for my book, is that I personally, this is my opinion again, and if you have one, give us a call at 915-5202. The black woman does not respect the black man. And because of that, this is where that friction goes, and you see it was like it's a lack of respect. You can't castrate a person mentally and then want to be a balanced unit,
Emasculating, and
right?
It's a society. It was a growing change. For so long, men was gone, war, jail, drugs, just running around the streets, whatever reason. The woman was home having to try to do both sides of the deal. Now we're in a society where more women have jobs, unfortunately not paid as well, but still more women have jobs. And now, unfortunately, there's feel that because I earned the money or the most money, I run the show, when that should not be the focus. To say you got a certain amount of power, but they do. And now we're taking this opportunity to, instead of saying let's help build each other up, stamp it down. Because if I'm working and you were at home or work side, whatever, and did not work, it's fine. It was accepted because you're the man. But now, if I'm out of work or trying to help keep a job because of a variety of different reasons, and then you're working, you're a terrible thing of earth. And women are now looking at this as whatever. And now this is an opportunity with the right situation and other situations. Women has now using this as a springboard when you should be using other things as springboard. Let's encourage other things. Like, unfortunately, teen pregnancy has gotten up within women, especially in the black community. Let's try to use the springboard to focus on that.
Right.
Let's springboard education. Celebrate the fact that we have more women graduating schools in education now, more than
That's
ever.
able to even go back and
to
complete
school.
their education.
Yeah, that's more than ever in history. Let's celebrate that and use that as a springboard, not this, because once this settles down, where is everybody going to be?
And it's a good thing that you said that, because one of the things that you and I talked about earlier is that this domestic situation and the domestic situation in the NFL, I'm trying to understand why they're trying to act like this is brand new. This has been going on. And the crazy thing is, some of them that are actually commentating on this have domestic charges themselves. I watched Dion talk the other day, and I'm like, Dion, you and your wife got arrested for domestic.
They had and you saw that.
They had a show.
They had a show, and you could see that there was some stuff because their ego and that competition. I thought me and another friend saw this show, saw the whole series, and I was like, my God, what is going on here? They like, it's the competition. I was eagerly to see what happened with season 2, and they never made it.
I can see why. They were
right,
locked up.
but it was just crazy with just all the different things, and they're not looking at it. The reason why it got to this level because of somebody's money.
Exactly, and that's the key point.
The major one,
somebody's money got messed up,
and then now
endorsement deals and everything else. Everybody goes, "Oh well, Nike pulled out and this people pulled out." That's no big deal. This
Nike
is some
could care
money
less.
game. They could care less. That's just all for pomp and circumstances to say.
Because 6 months later, because they still sponsor the team,
right?
They still sponsor the NFL. You pull that contract away, fine. Just like when they did Rush Limbaugh. 2 months later, you're back on the saddle because Anheuser-Busch is not going anywhere. They're still doing the Coors Light commercial. It's not going to. They realize that these are things that happen to society. We're above it. We're going to move on. And it's just, if we